WeCube. Tonight, the session will be figured out. There have been like a few questions here and there for, let's say, even people who are already working, and we set up this event essentially for everybody, and even for me. I have a master's degree, but it doesn't discount that I'm not eligible for an MBA. And then there are those who, I guess, in different fields who are successful, and we want to know, essentially, again, if the MBA is for you or for me, again. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome on stage Jonathan DePorge, our host for tonight.
Thank you. I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to bring the panelists right away, because you came here to listen to them more than to me. So please join me, all of you. Before starting, I think it's just, we want to discuss a few stats about the MBA, and I want our dear panelists to share their insights. So as of today, the MBA is the most powerful degree on earth. It's also the most taken. So last year in the US, we had 190,000 people who graduated from masters in business. And it overtook for the first time the masters in education, which was #1 over the last few decades. Now, what's important is to see the satisfaction rate among graduates. It's not something that you see often. We're talking about like 93% satisfied. We're talking about like personally satisfied, 89% professionally satisfied, and 75% financially satisfied. So my first question would be like, well, dear MBA graduates, is like, is this something that you relate personally as well in terms of the satisfaction about your degree on a very general aspect?
Yeah, definitely, I do agree. It was a very rewarding experience in many ways.
I think the MBA actually addresses several things, right? If it's personally rewarding based on your objectives, financially, because it does open up opportunities after graduation. If there's a question later about what happened life after the MBA, then I can say that some opportunities really opened up. Things which were not so easy to do under a very conventional path. But because of the program, the network, or possibly like the things that you learned, or at least visibility, then it really opened up a lot of opportunities. So I'd say yes, it was pretty good.
Hi, so I'm Luis. I did my MBA same year as Jana. We were batchmates at Harvard Business School, so we finished 2015. I'm a career switcher, so before my MBA, I mostly worked in government and political campaigns, and my undergrad was economics, so more on the social sciences. So I think in terms of skills-wise, also in terms of exposure, different ideas, different perspectives from different people. So really found it very useful to what I'm doing now.
It is a good degree, it is a powerful degree. If we're looking at the ROI, we're looking at 4 years maximum to get a return on your investment. Now, we have to be careful with this figure. This figure is taken like among hundreds of thousands of graduates, but it's still mainly Western-centric. In other words, when you graduate an MBA in the US, your exit salary is around like 100,000 US. It's something like reasonable that you can expect. Now, let's say you come back to the Philippines, your expected salary is not going to reach 100,000 US. So you also have to take this into account. It's like, you have, when you read statistics about the MBA, when you look at the numbers, you also have to take into account that, especially in today's world, it's getting harder and harder to find job overseas. The number of visa is decreasing, plus the number of applicants is actually increasing. So we're looking at the US, the H-1B, it's a lottery. So it's not even based on, I went to HBS and I have a chance. It's like, it's a pure lottery, and you can't just base all your planning based on this. Now, something very interesting is like women are actually more satisfied from the MBA than men. So the average 93, women are satisfied at 96%. And indeed, there is a demand in the corporate world for more women for leadership positions. It's something that companies want and need. So one of the reasons it's a very powerful degree is like employers do love MBA. So quickly, it's 88% for MBA. I'm going to give you a comparison with masters. Masters in management is 44%. Next year, I'm planning to hire masters in management. It's 40% for accounting. It's basically 40% for finance. 88% puts the MBA at the same level as the bachelor degree in terms of employment rates. And everyone needs a bachelor degree when not everyone needs an MBA. The only thing that does beat the MBA, it's direct experience hiring. In other words, if you want to be consultant and you want to move to McKinsey, you have more chance being a former consultant than just having an MBA. Is it something that you felt when you were pursuing your MBA? Did you feel like companies were chasing after you? Do you think it's something, it's a high figure, we're talking about like 88% of worldwide employers thinking to hire MBA. Is this something that personally you kind of felt?
Something I personally felt? It really depends on the industry that you're talking about. I think that it was very much like a big part of our batch went into finance, into consulting, went into investment banking, but you know, there are a lot of startups, I mean nowadays anyway, that don't necessarily hire MBAs. So I think it really depends on what industry like this particular statistic is talking about, but I can't quite generalize that. It's very hard to generalize, I feel.
So I'm just going to jump in there, place.
Yeah.
So obviously consulting is the one that wants to hire the most. Not. Consulting is 92%. Healthcare, 100% of employers have reported they want to hire MBA.
Yeah.
And this is very much true when you look at Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, they all have MBA graduates program. Energy is at 88%, finance 84%, tech is 84%. Now the interesting thing is when you look at tech, healthcare, most of the job function we're looking at are going to be business development and sales and marketing. So all of these, when you think of an MBA, are basically, you know, point of data you have to look at. It's not only the industry, it's like, okay, I want to move into healthcare, but where are they going to hire me? And can I be hired as a sales if I've never been a sales before, for example? So you have to look, you know, to ask yourself those questions before you even start your MBA.